The number one minimalist approach to money and investing. Minimize your physical possession. Minimize the physical things that you own. This is actually a lesson I'm learning firsthand right now. Now, I've never been a guy that loved to own a lot of things. I try to keep my possessions as minimal as possible, but for the past year, I have been really challenged to minimize the amount of things I own. For those of you guys who have been following me, especially on Instagram, you might know this already, but my family and I are currently full-time travelers. That's right, we're currently living out of our suitcases. Thus, I'm currently speaking to you from the lovely island of Bali, Indonesia. And yes, I know exactly what you're thinking. How is your hair handling the humidity? Exactly, that literally was my biggest concern when we initially thought about coming to Bali. So far, it's been doing okay, but if I'm honest with you, my friends, it is not up to my top tier standard. The humidity just does not bring out the best hair, and to you, I want to share my deepest apologies. I know many of you, actually most of you, watch my videos to admire my hair rather than personal finance and investing advice. So I'm very to disappoint you. But enough about the hair. Back to the topic of this video. So one of the biggest things I've learned while living out of a suitcase has been the fact that we humans actually don't need a lot of things to function and live. For example, books. Now, in my old home office, I have tons of books. And I love books, physical books at that. But now being on the road full time, I have to rely solely on my Kindle for all my reading needs. But you know what I realized? It's actually been quite liberating. Not only is it cheaper to get books on Kindle, the fact that I have access to hundreds of books at my fingertip at all times is so amazingly convenient. If you've been a follower of the minimalist movement, this may not sound like something new or revolutionary, minimizing your physical possessions. But after having been forced to painstakingly select every piece of item we decided to carry with us on the road, I have found it to be very liberating. The number two minimalist approach to money and investing. Define your enough. Money plays a big role in our lives. It allows us to have a roof over our head, food in our stomach, and even allows us to buy nice things. Sometimes very nice things. Thus, many of us come to obsess over it, desiring to have more and more of it, not knowing when to stop. We work constantly to make as much money as possible from our day job. We seek out investments that will have the greatest return, and we constantly chase after the next financial peak, never knowing when to stop. However, if we're trying to approach our life, our finances in a minimalist way, we must stop and ask ourselves the question, how much is enough? The whole minimalist mantra is based around this notion of less is more. It is about stripping away the unnecessary and focusing on what truly matters. So let's ask ourselves, what truly matters in our lives? And what we often find is that physical possessions, fancy toys, and luxury goods are not it. What truly matters are being able to adequately provide for our family, being able to spend quality time with our loved ones, and doing work that fulfills us. That is our enough. So while making more money is good, to try to achieve the highest return for our investment is a worthy endeavor, keep this personal definition of enough on top of your mind at all times, because that will keep you grounded in your journey to wealth building. Alright, enough with the high-level philosophical talk. Let's get into the tactical. But before we get there, I want to share with you a free gift that could help in your investing journey. Do you ever wonder what type of an investor you are? What is your risk tolerance? Are you more risky or are you more conservative? Or maybe you're more open to the international market. Well, if you are, you're in luck, my friend. By answering just a few questions in this investor assessment quiz, you can receive a free, customized investing plan. It will not only show you what type of an investor you are, you'll also get a sample investing portfolio, plus tips to make sure you stay on track to meet your investing goals. So make sure to go to the link I'll have in the description below to receive your free investing plan. Alright, with that said, let's get back to the video. The number 3 minimalist approach to money and investing. Simplify your investment strategy. Once we have our enough defined, it is now time to align our investment strategy to meet that enough goal. And in the spirit of minimalism and simplicity, we want to simplify our investment strategy. Because to be honest, simple is not only easier to manage, in the world of finance, where the industry loves to encourage and market complexity, it is actually more effective. You tend to stick with the strategy longer, the costs are minimal, and because there's minimal dancing in and out of the market, 9 out of 10 times you get better returns. So what are some key components to a simple investing strategy? Let me share with you a few. One is diversification. Investing itself is a risky endeavor. Whenever you're putting money into the market, into any investment at that, you're risking your money. Thus, you want to constantly ask yourself, how can I mitigate my risk exposure? And one of the simplest and the best way to mitigate investment risk is through diversification. By investing your money across multiple companies, multiple industries, and even multiple countries. 2 is cost. The financial industry is a significant portion of the global economy. Some estimates show the financial services market to be worth around $34 trillion. That is a lot of money. And how are they making so much money? by charging his customers, you and me, as much as possible. Well, I say be smarter. There are tons of great financial products that you can buy for rock bottom cost. And one of my favorite being low cost, broad market index funds. Bottom line, watch your cost. The third element to simplifying your investment strategy is to internalize less is better. In addition to charging a boatload of money to its investors, the financial industry loves to overcomplicate money in investing. Why? Because that's how they justify their overpriced fund managers. Don't buy into the myth that more is better, especially when it comes to personal finance and investing. Most often, you'll be much better with a simple and less. The number 4 minimalist approach to money and investing. Streamline your financial accounts. We're all guilty of this. When we turned 23, we opened up a Roth IRA account and funded it with $1,000 because a well-meaning uncle told us we would be stupid not to. But we're stupid. So we forget about it as soon as we turn 24. We start funding our 401k account, at least up to the match when we turn 27, because this cool YouTuber named Tay the Financial Tortoise told us we'll be stupid to miss out on free money. Well, you're smart enough to follow the advice, but not so smart that you forget about it as soon as you leave your employer. Then when we have our first kid in our 30s, we open up a 529 because we read some article at the hospital saying we should prepare financially for our kids' future education. But as soon as our baby starts waking up in the middle of the night, we completely forget about it because let's be honest, who has time to manage one's finances when we're barely getting enough sleep? And now, as you're watching this video, you realize suddenly that you have all these accounts all scattered around at different firms and places. You don't know how much you have, where they're at, and even how to access them. Well, it's time to do some minimalist housekeeping. Time to streamline your financial accounts. There is no need to have 4 different Roth IRA accounts with 4 different firms. Just like how we want to simplify our investment strategy, simplify your financial accounts. Organize them, consolidate them, streamline them. In talking about streamlining your financial accounts, I want to share with you a great free tool that could help you do just that. Empower, who I'm partnering with for today's video, and their free personal dashboard. As I mentioned earlier, if we haven't been intentional about our accounts, we likely have investments money accounts all over the place. And the thought of understanding how much we have in all of them feels overwhelming. I mean, do I just log into each one, write down what I have and what I'm invested in? That could take days or weeks. Well, no worries. This is where Empower can help with their free personal dashboard. Once you connect your accounts, this beautiful dashboard allows you to see in one glance where you stand with your finances. How much is in your bank account, your Roth IRA, your 401k. Additionally, if you want to get a better understanding of all your investments, Empower's investment checkup tool helps you see your complete portfolio asset allocation in one page. Its retirement fee analyzer also allows you to see how much you're paying in fees across all your accounts. Remember, every dollar you pay in fees is a dollar that is not compounding and growing. And all these functionalities and more are completely free when you sign up. So if you want to streamline your finances minimalist style, if you want to get a better handle on your finances, I highly recommend you check out Empower today. Please go to my special link I'll have in the description below to get started with the free dashboard. Again, I'll have the link in the description below. Alright, with that, let's get back to the video. The number 5 minimalist approach to money and investing. Automate everything. Minimize how much time you're spending on finance-related activities. Paying bills, contributing to your investment accounts, keeping track of your expenses. Now, this was not possible many years ago. Just a few decades ago, most bills had to get paid via physical checks, and investments could only be bought by calling a broker. That's right, for my younger audience members. There was actually a time when you had to physically dial a phone number and call someone in order to put in a buy order. Today, with the advent of some amazing technology, all these activities can be automated and you should take full advantage of them. For one, it saves you so much time and energy. Time, more than money, is the most precious asset that we have on planet Earth, and you must do everything you can to conserve more of it. None of us on our deathbed is going to wish we spend more time paying our bills. 2, it ensures we don't miss any key deadlines. If we have to manually log in every single month at a specific date to pay our utility bill, credit card bill, or home mortgage, because we're human, the chances are we're going to miss something one day. That is unnecessary. 3, when it comes to investing, when we automate our contribution, we tend to save and invest more. We're not relying on our willpower to invest more money into the market. Every month, a set amount is being invested, regardless of how the market is doing or how we are feeling. A fancy financial term for this is DCA, dollar cost average. Buy when the market is down and buy when the market is up. The number 6 minimalist approach to money and investing. Embrace the buy it once approach. Essentially, when faced with a purchase, think about it as life expectancy. How long will this product last you? In a world where we have so many cheap goods flooding the market, it's easy to buy a product of lower quality, of lower life expectancy, knowing that we can easily always replace it quickly. Just look at reusable water bottles. There are so many so-called reusable water bottles in the market, but so many of them are such poor quality, they might as well be disposable water bottles. You use them a few times, and they start to crack and break apart. So you have to constantly replace them. Not only is this wasteful, it is not good for our wallet. These cheap water bottles may only cost us a few dollars at a time, but when we have to replace them every few months, they can add up. Not to mention the time that it takes to research them and buy them. Thus, one of my favorite purchases is this Hydro Flask water bottle. A water bottle that is made like a tank. It not only keeps my water cool at all times, but it feels so solid, I think it could last me a lifetime if I take care of it well. Unfortunately, this actually is my second one I purchased in the past 10 years, because the first one, I accidentally dropped it and had to replace it. But without that accident, I might still have the original one. Regardless, when it comes to purchasing things, if you want to approach it with a minimalist hat on, embrace the buy it once or buy it for life approach. The number 7 minimalist approach to money and investing. Ruthlessly curate your marketing exposure. In the theme of minimalism, you're minimizing your exposure to the marketing machine. Marketing is one of the most powerful forces that influence human behavior. Most of us can probably remember the commercials that we watched growing up better than the books that we read. Why? Because these commercials were designed to stick to our minds. Marketers, using all elements of psychology, neuroscience, and behavioral economics, meticulously crafted these ads to trigger our emotions, to create a sense of urgency. They want us to believe that our life will be incomplete without Coca-Cola, G.I. Joe action figures, and Pokemon cards. And today, it is much worse. Marketing doesn't just appear through billboards and television now. They are everywhere. Social media, email, streaming videos. You probably had to watch a few ads while you're watching this YouTube video. That is the world that we live in now. But that doesn't mean we have to be at the complete mercy of the marketing machine. We can manage it by curating its exposure. Here are a few practical tips. 1. Unsubscribe from marketing emails. These days, pretty much all major companies market through emails. If you gain value from them, stay on their email list. However, if you feel tempted to buy because you're constantly being bombarded with promotions and sales, don't be afraid to unsubscribe. 2. Block ads on devices. Install extensions like AdBlock to reduce exposure to online ads. And with your smartphone, enable privacy features like turning off personalized ad tracking. 3. Disable push notification, especially from shopping apps and retailers. Like email, you don't need to be constantly reminded of sales and promotions. Remember, you are in control of your spending, not the retailers. The number 8 minimalist approach to money and investing. Declutter your financial commitments, your financial obligations. A big item in this category is getting rid of debt, especially high interest debt. Debt, regardless of how some people put it, some say it's a great wealth multiplier, is a dangerous tool. When not handled well, it can and it has put so many people's lives in ruins. If you want to simplify your finances, you want to remove yourself of this obligation. You want to eliminate debt as quickly as possible. When my wife and I first got married almost 15 years ago, we had a combined student debt of $105,000. It wasn't just a thorn in our side, it was a 100-ton truck that completely weighed us down. So we spent the next 3.5 years going gazelle intense paying it down. And while it was one of the most challenging tasks that we took on, once we were able to unburden ourselves of this financial commitment, decluttering it, we were able to focus all of our energy on building wealth, saving and investing. And even if you don't have major debt like we did, there are always things that you can declutter. Review your expenses to see, are there any subscriptions that you're no longer getting maximum value from? Are there bills that you can renegotiate? Or move to a different provider to get a better deal? Like decluttering our home, there are always areas within our finances we can declutter. The number 9 minimalist approach to money investing. Simplify your budget. If you can believe it, there are actually people that love budgeting. They love it so much, they have an 18-tab spreadsheet to itemize every bit of their spending. How much to spend on gas, how much to spend on coffee, and even how much they should spend on toilet paper. And they tailor it every single month. In July, we spent 14% more on toilet paper. You know, warm season, more wiping required. Now, if you're the guy or gal that has a multiple page budget spreadsheet, I applaud your effort. I truly do. However, if I'm honest, I feel that it could be taking it a bit too far. Budgeting at the end of the day is just a plan to direct our spending. And no one can ever be perfect because life isn't perfect. So I say, keep a simple budget. As long as you have big buckets like housing, transportation, food and groceries, plus a few additional categories to represent your unique life circumstances, you are fine. You want to get a high-level understanding of where you're generally spending your money so you can adjust course as necessary. But to try to budget for every individual roll of toilet paper might be taking it a bit too far. Number 10, and the final minimalist approach to money and investing. In the theme of simplifying your budget, simplify your life. Simplicity is one of the most underrated vocabulary in the English dictionary, probably because it is so simple. Get it? Regardless, the bottom line is that for the most of us, we don't need extravagant things to keep us satisfied. Most of the things that give us the greatest joy in life don't come from big, lavish spending. Rather, they come from very simple things. Our family, creating something that is of value, and connecting genuinely with others. Thus, let's strive for simplicity. A simple but very satisfying life. Nature is pleased with simplicity, and nature is no dummy. Thank you guys for watching The Line of Simplicity. If you want some more practical tips on how to simplify your finances as well as your life, please check out my video here. Until next time, all the best.